Hello guys, this is Dawn Marie and I am back with another video. If you are joining me for the first time, I'm Dawn Marie Nesbitt. On my channel, you can find content where I share my journey of what it is like to start a digital product business from scratch. Now, I'm a digital marketer and have been doing digital marketing for 6 years, working on client accounts. I decided to create something of my own, a product, and I want to show you what that looks like. So if you are interested of that behind the scenes journey, starting from how the type of product that I decided on, how I decided on the product, the ideas that I came up with, where I'm hosting my product, the website that I created, all of these things. If that's something that you are interested in, then I would love if you subscribe to the channel and join me on this journey. And if you're coming back, then welcome. So glad to have you. On today's video, I will be speaking about traffic, and I thought it's fitting to speak about this because in my last video, I talked about setbacks that I was having when it came to getting people to my website. If you haven't yet seen that video, then I will put a card up here that will take you to the video. Feel free to have a look. Also, before I get started, if you are someone who is new in business, an online business, or you want to start your own digital product business, but you have no idea where to start, then I have created a business plan, which is a checklist of things that you need to focus your attention on as you are getting started with your online business, as you are moving forward and growing your online business. So it's a very simple, straightforward business plan. Sometimes when you hear of business plan, you wonder, what is it that I can include in it? Well, this is the business plan for you. It's going to be a checklist of things that you need to focus on so that you don't lose the goal of the business plan, the overall objective of your business plan. I'll make sure to leave a link to that free business plan in my description box below. Okay, so let's move on with talking about traffic. Now, it's one of the most important things that you need to think about as you want to start selling your digital product. So how are you going to get people to know about your brand, your business, and your product? You need to get traffic to it. Now, when I say traffic, that's just marketing speech for people. So people like me and you, how are we going to get them to find out that we exist? If you think about, you are walking along the high street, for example, and there are shops and malls that you walk through, then you have a storefront. You yourself are traffic and you're going into that store. That's essentially what you want someone to do, but online. Now, if you're wondering how to get traffic to your digital product online, there are two types of traffic that is available, and it's really dependent on how much time do you have, right? So there is free traffic and then there is paid traffic. Free traffic essentially is traffic that you are not paying for, but you are investing time in getting people to your product or to know about you. Whereas paid traffic is where you are paying for your content to be seen. Maybe you do not have a lot of time to invest in free traffic, but you have a lot of money that you are happy to spend to get in front of people, and therefore you can pay platforms, you can pay people to get in front of a wider audience so that they get to know about you. Now, there are several places where you can get people to find you, and you may be wondering which one is best for me. Well, it's very hard to say. So the first question that I would suggest that you ask yourself is, who is my target audience? Who do I want to sell my digital products to? You think about an ideal person that will buy your products, and then where are they likely to be hanging out? Which platforms are they likely to go to consume content? And when I speak about content, it doesn't only need to be educational content. It could be entertainment as well. Where are they going? Where can you find them? And you think about platforms, for example, like the social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Your audience, the people who will likely buy your products, are there scrolling through on their phones, looking at this content, and then up comes your own content that they can see. So that's what I mean when I say to ask yourself the question, where are they likely to be hanging out? So, for example, you might have a digital product where the people who are likely to buy that product is business workers or maybe people in a corporate environment. Then you might think that LinkedIn might be a great platform for you to be on, because LinkedIn is where a lot of business people, a lot of entrepreneurs go to consume content, right? You may have products for job seekers. So that's where LinkedIn is a great platform, because it attracts a lot of people who are looking for employment. And therefore, if they are scrolling through LinkedIn's newsfeed, they're likely to see your content. You may have digital products for bloggers. Well, Pinterest is a great platform because a lot of bloggers post their content on Pinterest. So that may be a place where you can start creating your own content. Facebook and Instagram, as well as Twitter, is just about any type of person. But let's say that you are targeting someone based on their age. Let's say your demographic is more youthful, they are younger. So you may want to start creating content on places like Snapchat or Twitter. So in this video, I would like to share 5 free traffic source tips for you to use to start selling your digital products. Now, the first tip is use content marketing. Now, what is content marketing? Content marketing is basically using content strategically for the purpose of selling your digital product. So you want to start creating helpful content around your digital product so that when people consume it, they are going to find it helpful and beneficial to them. You don't always want to be pushing the sale of your product. You want to create that content that's valuable. It could be educational and useful to the reader. And then also once you have created that content, you then can link back to your digital product. This way, you are building trust and a relationship with the person who is reading your content. You're also showing that you are an expert in what you do, because if you create content mainly around the niche or the digital product that you are selling, and someone reads it and continues to come back to your content, then you are building up that authority, that you know what you're speaking about, and therefore any digital product that you sell can be trusted, or you yourself can be trusted. As well as it's a really nice way to help you stand out, especially if your niche or your market is competitive, where everybody else is trying to get the sale. Instead, you are trying to build trust and value with your audience. That helps you to stand out from all the other people, because not a lot of people are going to do that, right? It takes time to build that content, and a lot of people want quick sales. So you are going to get the benefit of it because you are providing value and people are going to start trusting you. My tip number 2 is use SEO on platforms like Google, Pinterest, or YouTube. So SEO is search engine optimization. Basically, Pinterest, YouTube, and Google are search engines where people go to search for answers to their questions or answers to their problems. Now, if you were able to create content around those specific problems, then one thing that you can do is you can recommend your digital product in the answer that you are giving. For example, let's say that you're selling wood designs. So someone might search in the search engines how to DIY a swinging bench or how to DIY planter boxes. You can then create content around that question, answer the question, and then at the bottom recommend your own designs for those planter boxes or the swinging benches. And basically the idea behind that is that you are sharing how to do something, but you're also making it easier for the reader, because even though they then know the answer to their question, by selling your designs, you're also helping them as well, because they don't have to go and try and figure out the measurements or the sizes or anything like that, because you have already done it for them. So that's just a gentle way of sharing your product with them without pushing them for the sale. So tip number 3 for free traffic sources is social media marketing. And Social media marketing, I feel like it's an obvious because so many people are on social media these days. And you have to be able to know how to use social media. So it's not just about posting content about your product or trying to sell the product, but really you want to build a relationship with people. You want people to know more about you. So some types of content that you can create is behind the scenes of building a digital product. Maybe you have an idea for a digital product. You want to share how you came up with that idea. Maybe you have a story or a backstory of your entire brand or business. You want to share what that backstory might be. The purpose of these type of posts is really to share more about you. You want people to know, like, and trust you, right? And when you create this type of content for social media, it helps people to engage and get to know more about you. And then ultimately you're building that audience. They are then more likely to buy your products because they know more about you. And then factor in some of that content that you create from the content marketing, because once you've built that audience, people are likely to have questions and you can solve those questions or answer those questions with the content that you create for them. Now, when you're doing social media, you might want to use all of the platforms. You might want to jump on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, but that can be overwhelming, right? It can be, you have to learn exactly how each platform works. You then have to create the type of content that's specific to that platform. That's a lot. So what I would recommend instead is that you focus on creating or using one platform and sticking with that one platform until you master that platform. I remember when I got started with online businesses, the first platform that I ever worked on was Pinterest. I learned and I mastered and knew how to use Pinterest before I moved on to something else. So I would recommend that you choose one platform. You don't need to be everywhere else. Choose one, master it, build your own audience there. And then when you are ready, you might want to move on to, say, Instagram. By that time, you would have already been generating an income from your business. And perhaps, who knows, you may decide to hire someone to help you build up your Instagram account. My free traffic source tip number 4 is using marketplaces. Now, I've spoken before about marketplaces like Etsy, and I'll leave a card up here that talks to you about why I don't recommend it. But if you are someone who wants to use marketplaces, marketplaces essentially are a good thing to do because they already have traffic inbuilt into them. When you think about Amazon, for example, Amazon is a huge brand and a lot of people know about it. A lot of people, it's the go-to site for shopping, right? So you may want to host your digital product there because you know people are already going to Amazon to buy anyway, and it's a good place for your product to be found. Another place where you can sell your digital products in these types of marketplaces are Creative Market as well as Etsy. But I have decided with my own digital product business that I will not be using any of these marketplaces. And I will again share that link. You can have a look at that video as to why I won't do so, because essentially you do not, if you were to use these types of marketplaces, you are actually renting. It doesn't belong to you. But the good thing is that they have that traffic built into it, but you do have to abide by the terms and conditions of the marketplace. And that's one of the downfalls of using marketplaces as a free traffic source. And last but not least, my 5th traffic source tip for you is use someone else's audience. Borrow somebody else's audience. And a great way of doing that is collaborating or partnering with someone in a similar industry as yours to promote or again strategically promote your digital products. For example, you may decide to partner with someone, let's say you are in the dog niche. You may decide to partner with someone who has a large audience. You may just be getting started, but you can leverage their audience so that you can get found, you can get more visibility. So someone may have an audience size of, let's say, 10,000 or more followers on their platform. You can easily collaborate with them and say that you would like to share helpful content to their audience. And in exchange for doing so, you can then gently pitch your digital product to them. But you have to go in knowing that the first objective of that collaboration is to help that other person's audience. So you want to demonstrate value. You want to show how you can bring value to their audience, how you can be of service to their audience. And then they may say, of course, you are able to promote your own digital product, but perhaps that's something that you can do at the end. Many people use other people's audiences, and what you will find as well is when you borrow someone else's audience, you then have the ability to build your own. So I would say that it's not as much work as starting from scratch, because you're building somebody else's audience and you're going into a large pool of people, and more than likely you're going to get a few handful of people from that audience to join you. They become more aware of you, and then you can start building up your own audience to sell your own digital products. So those are 5 free traffic source tips to get you started with selling your own digital products. I also want to touch on paid ads, because I think it's important just in case you may have money that you want to invest in paid advertising. But I think I will leave that for another video. Okay, that's all for now, guys. Don't forget that if you want a free business plan with a checklist of things that you must absolutely do when starting with your own online digital product business, there is a link in the description box below for you to use. That's all for today. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.